Hello, people. I have finished the last book of the Bounty trilogy, the last book being Pitcairn's Island, and it was pretty good. I mentioned a couple of videos ago that I had read these books when I was in high school, so I know what happens on Pitcairn Island, and it kept me going. And when I get to the point where the natives decide to kill all the white men, it's actually written really well, and it gets your blood boiling. It was good. I got a few notes here. This again was written in 1934. This one is 247 pages. This is a collaborative effort by Nordhoff and Hall. And I just looked through, in the beginning of this, it has all the books that they did together, and it all has all the books that they did separately. I'm guessing that they're all novels, but some of them look really good, judging by the title. My first note here is Troubles on the Island. And I'm gonna say again that this is a novel. It's not a completely factual account of what happened on the island. It probably vaguely follows the story. The troubles begin because they don't bring enough women for each of the men. They're short a couple of women. And the troubles also begin because the women and the men are screwing around on each other. But it really begins when some of the mutineers decide that, okay, this island, we have to divide it up and parcel it out to each of us. And they decide that they shouldn't even include the 6 Indian men. And Fletcher Christian knows that that is not going to fly. He tells them to delay their decision for a couple of months. But it gets out, and the Indians hear about it, and the Indians say, well, fuck this, we're just going to kill all the white men. And they very nearly succeed. They kill all but 4 of them. And one of the 4 is Fletcher Christian, but he never recovers from the wound that he gets. He only lingers for about a week, and then he dies. There's another guy that is also wounded. He recovers, and he's the last one to survive in this book. We don't really know what happened. But the other 2 that don't even get wounded is Quintel and McCoy. And those 2 should have been killed because they're the ones that start the shit. Midway through the book, we discover that Williams has a cat. And later on, they mentioned something else about some kittens. It's like, why in the fuck isn't he writing about the cat? My other note here says, it's paradise. Much of the book tells about how nice the island is and about how easy the living is there. It's paradise, but I know how it ends. And Fletcher Christian ends up having 3 kids. And one of them, his name is Thursday October Christian. And he is the oldest of the children that the mutineers have with their Indian women. These are Pacific Islanders. I don't know really whether they're Polynesian or Melanesian, but the women on the island in this book, they're the most sensible out of anybody. Even after the war is over and you have the 4 white men alive, more trouble starts because they build a still and they begin to drink every day. And the women very nearly decide to kill them all. That's how bad it gets. Quintel turns into a beast. He's like eating raw pigs and sleeping under a rock. They end up having to kill Quintel. But it's a really good book. I would advise anybody to read this book. Historical fiction, I guess you would call it. the story of the bounty has to be one of the greatest stories that there is. For one, because it's true, it really happened, and it's late enough for us to know there's many writers, and when I see a book about the bounty, I buy it. I've got so many that I have to be careful because I don't want to buy a book that I've already read. And I guess that's about it. I am starting another book. I'll be finished with this one probably tomorrow. Thanks for watching.